What's up, team? So let's talk about the barbell deadlift and the dumbbell deadlift today, and common mistakes that I see a lot of my clients make and just people in the gym in general making all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to list them out and I'm going to try to show you what the mistakes look like on the bar with the dumbbells. So a lot of times you'll see people trying to deadlift and they round out that back. So their shoulders are way out in front and the back is rounded out. We never want to see that. We always want to see a nice flat back, nice little arch in the back, but not overextended, okay? The second thing would be excessive extension as they go down, trying to keep the chest way too high. Because a lot of people, they know that they're not supposed to round the upper back, so they overcompensate by keeping the shoulders way back and doing this little move here. That's not good for your back either, okay? So I wouldn't even say that's the lesser of two evils, because the lumbar spine is a lot more prone to injury than I would say the upper back is. So another thing, if you're doing a barbell deadlift, it is not necessary for you to pull from the floor if you don't have the mobility to do so. So if you get down and you butt wink to get to the floor, which means your hips kind of roll under and your pelvis tilts, it's okay to stack some weights under there and pull from a height like this. You're gonna get the same training effect until you can build up that mobility to get down low enough to do a proper deadlift, okay? Because if you're doing it wrong, you're not gonna get the effect that you want anyway, so you might as well do it right and elevate it, 2 to 5 inches, whatever it is, until you can get that mobility to go down far enough. Another thing, people tend to bounce the weights in between reps. So if you bounce those weights, you're gonna be able to get more reps at heavier weight, but are you really doing that weight? Because if I do this, and I come down, and I bounce it, obviously it bounces about 3 inches right there. So I'm not gonna get the 3 inches of the pull at the bottom with that weight, because that momentum is just gonna help me pull it right back up. So I like to see not a full reset, like coming off the bar, even though that's okay, but in between reps, let's come down, tap, then we're gonna bring the slack out of the bar as we come back up, rather than using the bounce, okay? And then also, another thing that happens, people think that you have to fully come up and hyperextend and take your belly out and your chest back at the top of rep of deadlift. That's not necessary at all. I don't know why people do that. I think they think it looks cool or whatever. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. You're going to hurt yourself, okay? So now I'll show you some of these mistakes in action. So we'll do the rounded back first. So we drop down, and then we're trying to pull like that. That right there just hurts my shoulders, and this is like 65 pounds, okay? The next would be the excessive extension. So we're here, and this would kind of lead into keeping the chest too high, kind of like a squat, because this is a deadlift movement, so it's perfectly fine for the chest to drop, okay? And we want that, all right? Because this is a hip hinge movement, not a knee dominant movement, okay? So, going along with that little theme there, when the chest drops, I want your eyes to follow your chest, okay? I don't want to see this, you looking at the wall and you're trying to deadlift. That compromises your neck position, okay? So just think of it, eyes follow the chest no matter where it goes, okay? Same mistakes happen with the dumbbells. So they can start, shoulders are already forward, and then they come down, back's rounded out. We don't want that. Again, we don't want the excessive extension of the lumbar, kind of trying to keep the chest high, because this is not a squat. That ends up being some kind of hybrid squat, deadlift, terrible movement for your back, okay? We're either trying to deadlift or we're trying to squat. We're not gonna do both at the same time. You're not gonna save time or get better results by trying to do both, okay? So, let's show you some good form. In my opinion, there's gonna be some differences. There's no absolute 100% correct way to do things. Everybody has preferences. This just happens to be mine. So I like to adjust the bar. I want the bar about mid-foot. Then I'm gonna act like I'm gonna split that floor apart with my feet. So I set my glutes up in a good position. I wanna get my core tight, about 40%. So we have a nice strong pillar. We're gonna drop down. I grip just outside my legs. And then we pull up. back down nice and slow, and then you pull up, okay? So, a lot of times you'll see deadlifters, they come up with it, it looks money, then they just drop the bar. Like, why would you not go down with the eccentric or lowering portion of the lift to increase the time under tension, which just helps you get results? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you can deadlift 500 pounds, but you have to drop it at the top, what's the point? But that's my opinion. Again, people may have their reasons for doing it, and if you have a reason for doing it, comment below, let me know. Educate me a little bit, because obviously I don't know everything, all right? So, again, midfoot, chest comes down, back's nice and flat, and you also want to make sure that you're not extending those legs way too early and then pulling up, okay? We want to be one fluid motion and then back down. All right? So that's all I've got for you there. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Let me show you a couple of deadlifts with the correct form. So we're here. I like to have the dumbbells out in front. Chest drops. Then we come back up. And come back up. All right? So, like I said, that's all I've got. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any comments, concerns, education for me as far as why certain things happen during the lift, let me know. I'm always open. I'm not, the end-all be-all to strength and conditioning. So let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email, chris@reformedathletes.com. I'll talk to you guys soon.